Assalamualaikum, my name is Amshanasha. Let me introduce the history of cheese. Around 8000 before Common Era, humans began to settle down, cultivating the land and domesticating animals like goat and sheep for their meat. With an abundance of milk, they faced a new challenge on how to preserve it. This led to fascinating discovery milk could be transformed into a cheese as product. Through natural fermentation, the bacteria and enzymes in the milk cause it to curdle. This process often happens accidentally in containers made from animal stomach. The rennet present in this stomach facilitate the curdling process. As the years pass, humans discover the production of cheese with different types of milk and aging processes which lead to the wide.
I'm Muhammad Hadra Haizand, and I'm going to talk about the cheese evolution. So, let's take a journey through times and watch how journey has transformed from humble discovery to the superstar it is today. We begin in the ancient time, in Mesopotamia and Egypt. People were just figuring out farming, and suddenly cheese became this unexpected magical creation. It wasn't just about survivals anymore. Cheese making became a skill passed down through generation and trade across the Mediterranean. With every new culture, cheese got a little twist, something unique and delicious. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, where monks weren't just living quietly in a monastery, they were experimenting with cheese. They refined the aging process, and guess what? Iconic cheese like Parmesan and Roquefort were born. These weren't just any cheese, they become legendary. People start to see a cheese not just as a food, but also in a form art. Then come to a renaissance, when cheese took a giant leap thanks to the improved farming method and better trade routes. Cheese spread all across Europe. It wasn't just about the making cheese anymore. It was about the perfecting it. Suddenly, new flavor and texture emerged, and cheese became a must-have at every meal, from a king's table to the farmer kitchen. But it didn't just stop there. The Industrial Revolution in the 19th century changed everything. Cheese was no longer just for the lucky few, it was for everyone. With a large-scale production, cheese became a staple in every household. Mass-produced cheddar, it was the beginning of cheese becoming part of everyone's life, accessible and affordable. Now, we live in the modern world of cheese, where possibilities are endless, from artisanal farm-to-table cheese to the convenient, ready-sliced option we all love. Cheese has exploded into a global phenomenon. It no longer just for a dairy base either. Vegan cheese, lactose-free option, and creative new flavor has made cheese a food for everyone, no matter their diet. And the best part, the future of cheese looks even more exciting. Lab-grown dairy is on the horizon. The sustainability is driving the way we produce it. We're talking about cheese that's good for the planet, as well as for our taste bud. We know what's crazy innovative cheese will be enjoying in the next new few decades. One thing for sure, cheese will continue to evolve and surprise us.
How much do you know about cheese making? Cheese are made from raw milk. Raw milk is a milk that has not been pasteurized. When raw milk is used to make cheese, it carries a unique set of catalyzation that can impact the final product, which is that can impact the cheese structure cheese.
The next step is homogenization. Homogenized milk is commonly used for soft cheese, resulting in a smoother texture and consistent fat distribution. Non-homogenized milk is preferred for hard cheese, as larger fat globules aid in curd formation and contribute to texture and flavor development during aging. Homogenization can impact cheese characteristics, so cheesemakers choose based on the desired type and properties of the cheese.
So after homogenization, the next step in cheese making is coagulation. Coagulation is the process of transforming the liquid into the semi-liquid or curds. So when making cheese, an enzyme that called rennet is added either as a liquid or paste that can cause a reaction that will curdle the milk, create the curds. So this process also called as thickening and takes between 10 minutes and several hours at different temperature depending on the type of the cheese.
So next I will be explains on the next step, which is saltings. So the purpose of saltings is actually used in cheese making to enhance the flavor and also to preserve the cheese. and also to inhibit the growth of harmful bacteria to ensure the longer shelf life. And the method used in cheese salting is include dry salting, where salt is mixed directly into the curds, and brining, where cheese is soaked in salt water solution that allow for even salt absorption and flavor development. And also impact how salting impact on the texture and aging is actually it's influence the cheese texture and aging properties, with the amount and method of salt affecting moisturizer levels, uh, its firmness and overall complexity of flavors as the cheese matures. That's
Now I'm going to talk about pressing. Pressing cheese reduces moisture from the curd and enhancing its texture, providing a firm outer appearance and a smooth, uniform on the inside. Chemically, pressing strengthens curd-casein protein interaction. Protein cross-linking by calcium ions make the structure stiffer when moisture is removed. This method not only shapes the cheese, but also affects its aging properties, such as less moisture, often lead to a longer shelf life and more detailed taste throughout maturation.
Next, I would like to discuss about the aging. So, cheese aging, or also known as the affinage, is the process that transforms the fresh cheese into the more complex product through a microbial activity, enzymatic reactions, and also the chemical changes. So, during this aging, specific bacteria and molds will break down proteins, which is also known as the proteolysis, into a peptides and also amino acids and fats, or also known as lipolysis, into free fatty acids, which it will enhance the flavor and aroma. So the moisture loss concentrates this flavor, while the development of rings and the formations of the crystal contribute to the texture. So overall, aging creates a rich tapestry of taste and also the sensations that define the characteristic of the cheese.
Okay, hi, my name is Imran. So, cheese starts with something simple, which is milk. Now, milk is much more complex than it seems. It's made up of protein, mostly casein, fats, lactose, which is sugar, and water. The first step in cheese making is preparing the milk. This can involve pasteurization, which is heating the milk to kill harmful bacteria, while still keeping the proteins and enzymes that are essential for the fermentation process. So once the milk is ready, we can move on to the real magic, which is fermentation. So to kickstart fermentation, we add bacterial cultures. These are usually types of lactic acid bacteria like Lactococcus lactis or Lactobacillus. So what happens next? These bacteria feed on the lactose in milk and through a chemical process called glycolysis. They convert lactose into lactic acid. This lactic acid is really important because it lowers the pH of the milk, making it more acidic. As the acidity increases, the milk begins to curdle, meaning the proteins start to clump together. It is when we start to see the milk transform into curds, the building blocks of cheese, and that is just the beginning of cheese making process.
Okay, now I will explain about proteolysis and lipolysis. Proteolysis in cheese refers to the enzymatic breakdown of protein into smaller peptides and amino acids, playing a vital role in the development of texture, flavor, and aroma during ripening. This process involves several types of enzymes, which are rennet enzyme, milk protease, and microbial enzyme. Rennet enzyme is which added to coagulate milk proteins, which also initiate proteolysis, and milk protease is naturally occurring enzyme like plasmin that continue breaking down casein protein. And the last one is microbial enzyme from starter cultures or ripening molds or bacteria that further degrade proteins, especially in aged cheese. Proteolysis primarily targets casein protein, mainly alpha casein and beta casein, resulting in a softer texture and more complex flavors as peptides and amino acid accumulate. This breakdown product also influence the cheese pH, salt, and moisture shaping its overall characteristic. And now for lipolysis. Lipolysis in cheese refers to the breakdown of fats, which mean lipids, into free fatty acids and glycerol during cheese ripening. This process is essential in developing the flavor, and aroma of cheese, particularly in aged or specialty varieties. So there's three enzyme here, which lipase enzyme. This enzyme, lipase enzyme, microbial lipase, and impact on flavor. So this enzyme, which lipase enzyme, either naturally present in milk or added during cheese production, especially in cheese like blue cheese or Romano, break down three glyceride into free fatty acid and glycerol. And the next one is microbial starter cultures or molds used in cheese ripening, such as in blue or surface ripened cheese, such as camembert, also contribute to lipolysis. This microbe produce additional lipase that help release fatty acid, enhancing the cheese unique flavor profile. And the last one is impact on flavor. The free fatty acid produced during lipolysis contribute to the characteristic flavors in cheese, ranging from buttery and creamy notes to more pungent or piquant aromas in aged cheese. Short chain fatty acid like butyric acid are responsible for strong flavors, while medium and long chain fatty acid provide more subtle taste. Lipolysis is especially important in certain cheese like blue cheese, where it plays a significant role in developing intense flavor and unique textures.
Hi everyone, my name is Natasha, and today I will be presenting about chemistry of cheese in terms of the flavor and texture development during aging process. So it all begins with the microbes, specifically lactic acid bacteria. These bacteria convert lactose, the sugar found in the milk, into lactic acid, which lowers the pH of the cheese and gives a tangy flavor. In some cheese, additional microbes like molds or yeast are introduced, adding complexity to the flavor. Now, as the cheese ages, magic happens. The proteins and fats within the cheese begin to break down, transforming its taste. Enzymes, both from the bacteria and also the milk, break the protein down into amino acids and peptides, creating a savory flavor. At the same time, the fat breaks down into free fatty acid, which give each cheese its rich, sometimes pungent taste. So what about the texture? Well, the breakdown of casein, a milk protein, softens the cheese as it ripens. If we let it age longer, the cheese loses moisture, resulting in a firmer, crumbly texture that we associate with aged varieties like Parmesan or cheddar. So, in summary, as cheese ages, microbial activity and enzymatic reaction develop its flavor, while moisture loss and protein breakdown change its texture. It's a slow and complex process that turns the fresh cheese into the flavorful, rich delicacies that we all love.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Amshanasha. Let me introduce the history of cheese. Around 8000 before Common Era, humans began to settle down, cultivating the land and domesticating animals like goat and sheep for their meat. With an abundance of milk, they faced a new challenge on how to preserve it. This led to fascinating discovery milk could be transformed into a cheese as product. Through natural fermentation, the bacteria and enzymes in the milk cause it to curdle. This process often happens accidentally in containers made from animal stomach. The rennet present in this stomach facilitate the curdling process, as